Welcome back to Allied Bullyz TV, man. And today we got a gentleman on the show that needs no introduction if you've been breeding exotic bullies. But if you ain't familiar with exotic bullies or the exotic bully game though, I'm gonna give you an introduction though. He got that excellent stud over there, legend, big screen exotics, Bully Avenue, part of the connection worldwide. Welcome, Brandon Morgan, to the show, man. What's going on?
Hey man, I appreciate you having me, man. I appreciate you reaching out, man, for this interview, man. And man, shit, let's get to it, big dog.
Hey, man, I wanna start off though first by commending you and thanking you for even coming on the show and doing the interview. A lot of times, like I told you before, like I ain't really no big platform, so a lot of big name breeders, if you want to say that, in the game, whether it be from exotics all the way up to XLs. Sometimes people tend to act a little funny, and
Right,
they'll be like, nah, I ain't gonna do that, or I ain't gonna do that. But when I had spoke with you, off the rip, you was like, shit, I got you, shit, whatever you want, whoop whoop whoop. Just let me know what time. And I appreciate that though. You feel me? That
right,
that
right,
that let me know like you a real one. You know what I'm saying? So I respect it.
man. Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, I look at it from like this point of view, man. Big breeder, little breeder. Big promoter, little promoter, man. We all the same, man. We all trying to get somewhere and have something in this game. You know what I'm saying? So, and we all had to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So, even when I started, years and years ago, networking and trying to get my name out there. I know how that feel. You know what I'm saying? When you trying to do something and have something, and then you just not getting the support of the right people. You feel me? So by any way, anybody out there that's listening, watching, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? When you come, to Bully Avenue, Big Screen Exotics, we always gonna lend support. No matter if it's me, Daquan, Dada, Vino, any of our connection or any of our Bully Avenue brothers, man, big Screen Exotic brothers, man, we always gonna lend a hand and help. No matter if you up top or you down low, to us it don't matter. Everybody's the same. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that's real. Them real qualities that you don't really find in a whole lot of people these days, though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's that old school mentality, though. You feel me? But like I said, you don't really find too many real ones, though, nowadays, though, for real.
Right, right, right. I
Um,
mean, it all started with support, man. To get anywhere in this game or just really in life, man, you got to have support from somebody. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's your family or your friends or whatever, or people in your city, or even if you ain't got their support, then you need to gain the support of people in whatever community that you're doing outside your states and other places. But at the end of the day, man, support is what get people going. And get people headed in the right direction. So and you never know what your support mean to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't judge what my support do for you. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, man, appreciate you coming on, bro. I've been looking forward to this. So my support for you, you know what I'm saying, was greater. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So you never know. So that's why I always just support people that support me, man. If you support me, I'm always gonna support you. Period.
so for sure, man. Once again, I thank you. I appreciate you. Um, give us a little history on how you got into dogs in general.
Yeah. Man, people don't know, but man, I'm 43 years old, man. People always say, man, you don't look that old. And I'm like, man, you know what they say, black don't crack, you know what I'm saying? So I guess that's a true statement, you know what I'm talking about? But but uh but man, I've been really messing around with dogs, bro, since I was kind of really a kid, since I was I don't know, less than 15 or so, something like that. And I just kind of like got into dogs with some different people in my neighborhood, that had different dogs and stuff like that, like Dobermans, Rockwallers, German Shepherds, different things like that. I grew up in the country area a little bit, and so just through the years, man, I had just grown a love for dogs, man. And I had an aunt that raised, well, I ain't gonna say she raised, but she always had poodles. So and she was meticulous about how her poodles be kept, you know. So she used to always have me help her with the grooming and stuff like that at home. So I kind of started learning about how to take care of a dog, like just take care of a dog, like grooming it, feeding it, and all that at a young age. So as I got older, you know, I had pit bulls and stuff like that. Everybody want to say they came from game dogs. I didn't. I ain't come from no game dogs, you know. And the reason why I say I didn't come from game dogs is because, you know, to really come from game dogs, you got to be out there, you know, about that game life. And I wasn't, you know, we might did some kind of game, little playing with the dogs or whatever, but, you know, not
Right.
no serious game. And so I didn't come from game dogs, but I did come from pit bulls. You know, and I had pit bulls and I bred them. And I mean, I think I was 18, 19 years old, man. And we making our own pit bull litters in our backyard, you know what I'm saying? And pulling
Right.
puppies out ourselves. We don't know what we doing, but we doing something. You feel me? We pulling puppies out, you know, breech puppies and figuring it out. I mean, it's, hate to say it like this, but even back in those days, we cropping our own dog's ears at home. You see what I'm saying? I mean, so it's like a lot of stuff I just learned just by doing it. You know what I'm saying? At an early age, and then going forward, fast forward a little bit. Don't want to stick too long on that subject, but going forward, man, I met a dude named BC, and he had a badass pit bull in my imagination. You feel me? So dang, that's a badass pit bull, but it was like real little and stocky and shorter to the ground compared to what my pit bulls was. You feel me? And so I was like, damn, I want a dog that looked like that. And ever since that day, that gave me the drive to want to do the American Bullies, because that's when he explained to me that he didn't have a pit bull. This was an American Bully. And I was like, what the hell is that? And that's when the detail came in about what it was. And ever since that day, that dog was named Buster D. I can't remember the bloodline because that was years and years ago, but I do remember the dog's name because that's the dog that turned me on to want to do this. And then I linked with him, which also he linked me with a bunch of people in my city. So being that I already came in the game in my city with somebody that was already linked into the dog game in my city, it was just a natural for me to move with the people that already was moving in my city, even though I didn't even have a true American bully at that time when I first started. I really had a pit bull, and I just, you know, worked my way down from there.
Right. So you went from the pit bulls to bullies. What you went to, like pocket bullies, standard bullies?
Right. Well, back at that time, you know, the pocket bully was the smallest bully. You know what I'm saying? Like we really
Right.
didn't even have it, and it's crazy, man. We'll get into detail about this. I know we will, but it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I I don't feel this is just me talking. You know what I'm saying? Other people look at the way they look at it. You know what I'm saying? I look at it the way I look at it. So
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I made great dogs throughout the years and some badass dogs, but you know,
Hey, what's good, Bully fam? This is Wade Elliott coming to you from my kennel here at Legendary Bully Camp. As y'all know, September 21st, 2024, Talmadge, Ohio, Summit County Fairgrounds. We have $50,000, 6 cash prize stack-offs, 2 BRC sanctioned shows, plus our fun show, 2 live music performances. The whole day is going to be a whole day. Trust me, the vibe, if y'all were there last year, you know what it was. Looking forward to seeing everybody come out and participate, network, and have a chance to show off what you've been working on. See where it stacks up against the rest of the world. So come on out, have a great day with us. We also have 2 times Beanstalk litter right now in North Carolina, with Fuji being the sire and Widow being the dame. She's a Brink's daughter who's off of Beanstalk. So as I said, tap in for that litter. Brindles are on the rise. Trust me, y'all don't want to sleep on this litter. If you've looked at any of the muscle tone brindles from the past, Rambo, Roy Jones Jr. boy, Nationals, come on. Y'all know what the blood does already. Tap in for that. Hey, but last and not least, I need y'all to comment, like, share, subscribe. Allied Bullyz TV, putting it on for Ohio once again, putting it down for the land. My man been A1 since day one. Them full interviews drop so much knowledge. Y'all really, really watch them videos. Pay attention, take notes. Watch it again, take more notes. But I need you to like, comment, subscribe. The YouTube channel, Allied Bullyz TV, their Insta, their Facebook. My dude's on the rise, and I need y'all to tap in. Later.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So the pockets was the smallest, and like I said, I was getting into the nano terminology. I mean the micro terminology. So when I came in the game, it was just pockets, right? As what we was calling your smaller, like American bullies, standards pockets, XLs and all that. So that's all I really seen, like Miyagi and shit. That was more of a pocket standard dog. You know what I'm saying? So that's all we really seen until like the Bull Sachi era, you know what I'm saying? In the Bape era, then they those started becoming what we would call micros. You know what I'm saying? So when that era came out, I was already in the game. You feel me? I was already knowing who dogs was, who people was, who breeders was, and what was going on. I just didn't have a micro myself, but I already knew what the micro was and the transformation from a pocket to a micro. You know what I'm saying? And so I already had started linking with the breeders that I already had, was already creating micros like the Bull Sachis and even the little sluggers or the little scrappies. All them bloods right there. And those are some from my city, but I already had linked up with them, so I kind of feel, in a strange way, I guess you could say, I kind of feel like I was part of the creation of the micros. You know what I'm saying? Like I already had dogs, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, that you could consider a nano today. You know what I'm saying? So I already had that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Um, so basically, at what point did you fully transition into what we call today exotic bullies?
Uh, I mean, to fully transition, I would think I was already fully transitioned when I came into it. You feel me? Because the way I see the dogs and the way I see the dogs that I make, I had already visualized the smaller dogs because we was already using terminology like we want a small dog with big dog features. You see what I'm saying? So we was already trying to minimize the dog down when we had pockets. You know what I'm saying? We was figuring out ways to minimize the dog down and make them smaller just with no flaws, try to eliminate as many flaws as you can, which we all figured out that in the transformation of making these dogs smaller, it come with flaws. You know what I'm saying? You got to get them down first, even with the flaws, and then you got to figure out how to iron the flaws out and keep it down and keep it small. But you still want to keep the girth on it and the bone on it and the structure to it. And so I think that's what that I think I was already in that mind state to build a dog like that, even though it wasn't physically built in my physical presence. I already was in the mind state, you know what I'm saying, that's the direction we were going, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I said, I feel like when I first came in the game and got the running, I came in on the creation era when everybody was creating the next best thing. Like today's era, I don't feel like you have to create anything. I feel like you can just go out here and breed the certain dogs that's going to give you what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? So you're not really creating anything, in my opinion. You just following something that's already was created. Back then, we had to create these. There wasn't none of this. You know what I'm saying? None of these dogs that you see today, we actually had to create it. There was certain people that was, you know, creating of the tricolors and stuff like that, like Kubo blood, and little Kubo blood was one of them. I'm trying to think of some other ones back in the day. There was a couple other ones too. I'm kind of losing thought on that one, but their whole design of their yard, you know what I'm saying, was color. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you would go to them just to get color. You know what I'm saying? Get tries
Right.
or get whatever you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? And that was breeding for us. You use certain camps to get certain things. You feel me? It wasn't even
Right.
about, oh, I'm
Right.
using them because you have a hot stud or you making a lot of money or nothing like that. It had nothing to do with that. It's like, oh, I need try, so I'm gonna use this dog. Oh, I need fronts, so I'm gonna use Borsace. Oh, I'm gonna need, I need that crazy exotic face, so I'm gonna go holler at George. There's certain people out here, even though they might have a shitty name, they're known for certain traits that their blood is going to give you for sure. You just got to sit back and watch and understand what you trying to do, so you'll know how to get it. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense.
Nah, that makes sense. You was talking about flaws. I want to ask you something. You know, since you a well-known exotic breeder, I want your opinion. What would be considered, you know, a flaw on an exotic dog or micro bully? What would be considered a flaw in today's dogs?
Man, it's kind of hard to tell because, I watch a lot of lives, even though I might not get on there and speak, but I'll be on a lot of lives today. And I feel like the flaws in what we're doing, and whether it's a nano, a micro, a pocket, or whatever it is, I feel like the flaws or whatever, what we're doing in a nano, I mean, not a nano, but an exotic could be anything that a person don't like about the dog, because I don't think everybody follow the same criteria of how they're producing their dogs. So, like for instance, like for an example, a flaw to me is no tail. You see what I'm saying? That's a flaw to me, but a person might say, well, that's not exotic. It gotta have a no tail to me for it to be exotic. And I don't think that, is right. You know what I'm saying? And, so it really just boils down to the person that's doing the breeding of what they consider the flaw, until we get like a standard across the board. And we tried this numerous of times to get a standard across the board for the exotic, and they might say it is one out there, but it's been so many ups and downs and argument, we can't get on the same page, that if we actually got on the same page with a standard of the dog, of what's supposed to have tail, no tail, whatever, then I think that would clean up a lot of confusion about what's the flaws in the exotics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, speaking on that, like, you know what you just said, for as like it's no standard, you know, it might have to take like one particular registry to create a standard, and if dogs don't fit the standard, then you can't register your dogs. You know, I don't know what the top registry is for exotic bullies. Maybe I'm thinking it's ABR for exotic
Right,
bullies. My bad, exotic bullies. It's
right.
ABR though, right? That might be the top one.
Yeah, I would probably give it to ABR right now. They surpassed everybody, within the last probably year or two. And man, so I would probably give it to them. ABR as being the number one, and like Bully Pet X is still up there. They probably still have one of the biggest online databases where you can go in there and see different exotics, and things like that. So and then you still got USBR, and there's a lot of other registries out there. But that brings me to this topic too, or to this thing too. You have a lot of these, like you say, standards for a registry to making a standard, but you got to think about it. When we started, there was only like 3 or 4 registries. You see what I'm saying? Now you got people making other registries, and why is that? Because they don't want to go by the standard that a registry set. So they say, hey, there, let me jump out and make my own registry, especially if they done made a lot of pocket change. Then they'll go out and make their own registry, and now we back to the same thing. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to take somebody with some power in this game, got a lot of knowledge, got a lot of power, and a lot of respect, and a lot of want to stand up and say, hey, this is exotics, and everybody going to follow it, and you know what I'm saying? Or and this, I talk to a lot of different people, and I always say the same thing. I always refer back to the NBA because I was a basketball player, right? So, or basketball in general, man. You got high school level, you got college level, you know what I'm saying? Then you got development levels, then you got the NBA. There ain't no way in hell, I don't care how good you are on the street ball court. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how many people you dunk on the street ball court. I don't care how many points you score on the street ball court. There ain't no way in hell you're going to go suit up and play in the NBA game tomorrow. You feel me?
Nah,
Like, it's a
nah.
process you got to go through to be accepted, And I feel like that's what hurts our bully community more than anything, is there's no process to be accepted. You can be accepted tomorrow. All you got to do is just show up with a dog, talk a lot of shit, come with the right kind of appearance that everybody assumes to accept you with, and then just go in there with confidence and talk to the right people and network with the right people. People automatically assume that you're about your business until they find out that you're not. But they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt from the beginning, and that's the problem. I feel like that's the biggest problem with our whole industry. They're not giving the respect to the right people that actually paved the way. You're giving the respect to the people that's just, clowns, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? And they just here to entertain. They're not here to put this game where it needs to be in order to be mainstream. That's what we all wanted from this game at the beginning, is to be mainstream. We want to be on the TV like you see Ukanuba or UKC and all those shows on TV. We want to be on TV too, But we can't do that if we don't have no sense of control over our own community. And you know what I'm saying? You know, we'll always be the black market when it comes to the exotics. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I can go on this subject all day, man. And, you know,
Right.
as you can hear, I got, you know, some real passion behind that subject right there. But, you know, I feel like, you know, that's what it's going to take for us, you know. And will it ever happen, man? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know, will I step up and try to, you know, take that road? Man, I don't know, you know. But, you know, it's out there to be taken, I think. You know, I feel.
Yeah, nah, you right, man. I just was kind of briefly talking about that in my two interviews ago with the guy Palacio Bully Camp. Far as like, you know, the game now, like, you know, anybody could get in this dog game. It ain't no levels or nothing you gotta go through. Far as like you said, like, or being attach yourself to a mentor and actually learn the game first. All you gotta
Right,
do is have a couple dollars, go buy one dog, go buy another dog. Now you got two dogs and you ready to breed them, and now you a breeder in this game.
right,
That's how it go now.
right.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. I mean, I mean, you're exactly right, man. And it's hard to not go that route because here's a prime example, man. You know, I'm the breeder, you the customer, right? You ain't never had a bully before, but you got some pocket change on you. Say you might have done some, you know, hustling or whatever, ex rapper, ex basketball player, I don't know, but you got some change on you. So you like, man, I want to jump in this dog game, right? So then you come holler at me, and I say, man, I got this dog right here for like 20K, and you like bet, you know? So you just spent 20K, and so I didn't made 20K, right? So for me, that's a promotion run, right? I promote that. For you, that's a promotion run, right? But look what we just did. We just set the seed for everybody that's looking and watching to say, man, this dude that just bought the dog, man, he owned. We need to go start spending our money with him and following him and doing, you know what I'm saying, doing what he say, how to breed. When reality is, you just now getting your feet wet, but you just starting out with a great product. You feel me? I
Right.
mean, my first car was a 2000 Impala in 2000. I didn't have to get like a 96 Honda just because everybody else was getting that. You feel me? So it's like,
Right.
just because I started out with a good car, it don't make me, you know, have the best car or the best this and the best that. You feel me? Just because I started out with a good make car or a better car than my peers at the time. You feel me? So basically, what I'm saying is like, you know, you still gotta level up, even if you come at a high level, come in on a high level, and that's what you want to do. You do want to come in with good breeders at a high level, but you still want to have room to level up and level up and level up. You see what I'm saying? And that's how you gain your network and your followers and stuff the right way. You know what I'm saying? The ones that come in and they get leveled up so quick because they just purchased a dog, then the next thing you know, a few months later, a year later, you don't even hear about the breeder or the dog. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's a lot of, you know, charades going on about the dogs out these days. So just basically saying, you know, you gotta you gotta understand who you buying from, what you buying, why you buying, and then you also gotta understand who you promoting for the seller too. Why you sell, why you promoting, you know, this and that, because you can be like you said, like, you know, say you meet and you're a big breeder or whatever, you can be out here promoting a cat that has bad intentions just because they bought a dog from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, say such just bought this dog. Man, he spent the bag. Go follow him, man. Go follow him. You know, he gonna be on. You know, give him a few months. You know what I'm saying? He gonna, you know how the speeches go. You feel
Right.
me?
Right.
So I'm basically setting everybody that follows me to support him and to trust him. I don't even know him.
And you don't even
You
know
feel me?
him.
I
Right.
just sold a dog, but the way I went about it was I wanted the community to understand and feel that I'm making money. And see, that's where the game turned a whole different corner. See, back in the day, it was about just you sell a dog, and then that dog sale go through or whatever. But that person that bought that dog have to do the real promotion behind it. You know, it used to be a lot of conversations going on saying like, man, such and such stud owner don't support me. He don't do this. He don't do that. It wasn't that he don't support you. It's just he gave you that initial push, and after that, the rest of it's on you. You feel me?
It's funny what you just said, as far as, you know, supporting other breeders, right?
Right.
Me, and another guy, once again, from Palacio Bully Camp, we had this discussion, off camera, for as like, when you look at it, if you a breeder and this guy a breeder and that guy a breeder, it's cool to be cool with other breeders and talk and bounce ideas and share posts sometimes, but to be fully promoting over and over again, you got to look at it too. Like, do you see McDonald's running Rally's Burgers on they commercials?
Right. Right. Yeah. I
Do you
mean,
see
that's
Walmart running Target commercials on their commercials?
right, and that's very important that you say that because I struggle with that a lot too. I struggle with exactly what you're saying, and it's because I have a lot of passion behind the creation of the dog, right? So I got a lot of respect for certain breeders. You know what I'm saying? So I might be in a whole conversation with a person, and then next thing you know, I didn't called out about 10 dogs out there that ain't even mine. You see what
Right,
I
right,
did? So I just
right.
basically promoted they dog, and then I'm not talking about mine enough. So mine kind of gets shied away, even though I have pretty much the same dog that I'm talking about. It's just that the respect that I have for them, I put their dogs above mine and their programs above mine, and that's what you shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you that was what I used to do at the beginning.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with promoting other people and other camps. You know what I'm saying? It just need to be noted for people who get upset and get in their feelings when somebody don't. Like,
Right, right,
don't
right. Well, you
people
should
don't
never
have
you
to.
should never expect support from anybody. You should never expect support from anybody. Yeah, we all want support, but you should never expect it. You know what I'm saying? So if a person give you support, just look at that as a blessing and return it. You know what I'm saying? Because we
Exactly.
don't have to support anything.
Exactly.
Supposed to support our families. And stuff like that. So we don't even have to support anything nobody doing with a dog at all. So if they
Right.
choose to support you, take that, be humble and with pride and give it back. That's the problem that I see a lot of people having is they not getting the support back. They put it out there, and they not giving the support back. And so then that's when they come back and say, well, I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. Nobody showed me love. Or these people that I show love, they not showing love back. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny too, that I say that, it's funny, because it's a whole network out there that we're not in control of. You know what I'm saying? Facebook and Instagram is like our main sources of communication through our bully community, and we're not in control of that. I just lost my page twice in the last month. Which had all my motion on it and everything. So now I feel like I got no motion because I ain't got no followers when it comes to Instagram. I'm starting over
Right.
from scratch, trying to rebuild it up. So what I'm saying, that support comes a long way because without support, man, you really ain't going nowhere in this game, bro. So you got to have that support, and you got to be able to show support too. You know what I'm saying? No matter how big a breeder you are, or how small a breeder you are, you got to be able to show support to be able to receive support too.
You exactly right, man. That's one thing, like me, I pride myself on it. Like, doing what I do with this media stuff. Like, I ain't no interviewer. I'm a regular dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I come from
Right,
Cleveland. I started doing this to, try to shine some light on my community up here. And,
right,
just so happily I start connecting with other people. But no matter how big my platform get, you gonna always see somebody from Cleveland on this platform. You feel
right,
me?
right, right, right. Yeah, yeah, man, that's good, man. That's good. Yeah, yeah.
Um, for people like myself, that's not familiar with, exotic bullies, kind of explain, what an exotic bully should look like and also how an exotic bully should function in your opinion.
Right. All right. So that's one of them touchy subjects. Everybody has their own opinion, but like you said, in my opinion, and Bully Avenue Brandon's opinion, exotic bully to me. First of all, I think we should all still follow the American bully, the original way American Bully looked to a certain extent. Of course, we want them to be a little bit more enhanced. So, we want a little bit more of a smashed muzzle. We don't want the muzzle, a long muzzle or a little bit smashed muzzle. It used to be a 2-finger muzzle, 1-finger muzzle. Now we want it all up in the face, all behind the eyes, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But, that caused breathing issues. So, then now we done brought the muzzle back out just a little bit, back to about a 1-finger muzzle, you know what I'm saying, which actually helped clean up the breathing issues. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I say the dog should still follow a pit bull kind of, you know what I'm saying, to a certain extent. We want them shorter to the ground, more compact and functionable. And you want straight feet, clean pads, all that kind of stuff, no kink tails. So when you really break it down, all you're doing is making a pit bull smaller. You know what I'm saying? You just want it with more girth, and then a skinny pit bull, you want it with more girth and bone, which brings in the bulldog. But when you bring in the bulldog, you're really creating F1s. So forgive me for all my big breeder friends out there. They got these big name studs that look like bulldogs. They're really F1s, F2s, F3s. You know what I'm saying? So they're really not even American bullies or exotics. They're still Fs because they're a step to creating something. You know what I'm saying? So back in the day when we made those type of dogs, we really didn't show them. We started showing them when they started being wow factors. Even though they're still F1s, F2s, F3s, they're wow factors, but we gave them a lane and said they're exotics. You know what I'm saying? So it made it acceptable to step out with these barrel body dogs, these stiff stifle dogs, or whatever it was, and these saggy jaw skin dogs, which resembles a bulldog at that point. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's a lot of famous ones that look like bulldogs to me. But I truly don't believe that's an exotic to me. I think that's a step of trying to get to an exotic. But a lot of people put that in there in that lane of being exotic because it's their moneymaker. It's making them money. It's making them a name for themselves. So they don't feel the need to keep creating. They just keep reproducing what that looks like. So, if you look at the real creators of the game, none of them have barrel body dogs anymore. They might have went through a wave where they had like barrel bodies type dogs, more bulldogger type dogs. But if you notice, everybody's getting away from a barrel body type of dog. It's more of a physical fit type of dog. You can see the definition in the shoulders. You can see the hump in the stomach, and then you can see the cut in the hips going to the back legs. Most people are getting back into that look, which represent more of a pit bull type dog. So, people don't want to say, oh, I got a pit bull. Well, technically you do. You just got a small pit bull or a small American bully. That's what the American bully was a smaller, basically girthier, more stranger, exotic looking pit bull. You know what I'm saying? And the term exotic, in my opinion, if you want to break that down too, the term exotic is really like, when you break it to me, like I said, Bully Avenue Brandon's opinion, if you say exotic, I think of the same way when I think of an exotic car. It's something I don't see every day. It's something that's, one of one. It's something that's different. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think your exotic should be for, you know what I'm saying? When we're talking about, oh, I got an exotic, you know what I'm saying? I got exotic. Okay, well, I don't see how you really got an exotic when you got a dog that look like this dog, that look like that dog, that look like this dog. I mean, to me, that's a common dog. There's nothing exotic about it, To me, exotic is, and some people might disagree with that. They going to look at just the features of the dog and call that dog exotic. I'm going to look at the whole dog, overall, the features, the look, and then I'm going to look and see, like, is that look out there? Is it already created? Is it already among us to where, it's its own entity? You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, that's what makes a dog to me really exotic, something different, and it can still be the pit bull look, or it can still be the bulldog look, if that's what you're going for. But it's going to be something that's different, something that changes. Like certain dogs, like say like Local Lotto was more of a bulldog, bulldog type of dog, paintball and all that. But there were exotics, considered exotics at the time because there was nothing else like that. You see what I'm saying? Nothing else like a paintball or a Local Lotto at those times. You see what I'm saying? So To me, they would be considered exotics just because of that. But a true exotic should not look like a bulldog. You know what I'm saying? It should still look like your pit bull, just with bulldog features minus the bulldog look, if that
Right,
makes
right,
sense.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. Like you said, as far as like the term exotic, it should look different. It should stand out. Uh,
Right.
when you put it next to something else, it should stand out more. You know, but also at the same time, it's a hefty price tag on an exotic dog versus a regular dog as well. But in turn, too, something exotic with a hefty price tag should also be made better
Right.
than anything else. You see what I'm saying? Far as like,
Right.
you got a Bentley, a Rolls Royce versus a Chevy Impala. That
Right.
Rolls Royce is an exotic car, but it's made better. So
It's
I think,
made better. Exactly.
people gotta wrap their minds around, these terms and what they really doing. You
Right.
feel me?
Exactly. Right. You're exactly right, man. The quality of the dog has to do with the exotic too. So if you make an exotic and it's a train wreck, and you still want to, I mean, you still say, oh, it's exotic, yeah, but it's a train wreck. So it's still like we go back to the F1, F2, F3. So it's still a project in the making. You know what I'm saying? So instead of coming out fully, like, back in my day, the Dub Car Show was something big. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm working on a car, yeah, it's a 6'4" Impala, but I ain't done everything to put it in the show. You feel me? So that's what some people gotta look at these dogs. Like, it's still a bully or it's still an exotic for what you want to call it, but it might not be ready. You might need another step. You now I need to breed to this, breed to that, see where that goes, see where that take you. So many of us jump the gun and we have a litter and say, oh, it's off of such and such, such and such. This is my stud, and then they try to push it on the public as, hey, look, breed to this, breed to this, breed to this. It's off of XYZ. You know what I'm saying? And, I don't feel like that's right either, but, hey, that's the way the game is. But it also brings me back to saying, until we get a group of people, a position of power to control the game, which I know nobody wants to be controlled in what they're doing in breeding, but I'm just saying control the game to be into a professional dog breeding community, then we're gonna have people just doing what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? So instead of somebody saying like, hey, in order for you to bring your dog on this type of platform and to be sold at these type of prices and to represent these type of breeds or breeders bloods, your dog need to represent that line. Like, what I'm saying? Like Legend, we'll talk about Legend. He's a Kobe son, right? So he looks nothing like Kobe. So you don't never hear me calling. I mean, when they were young, I would say Kobe son, just to give a person a general idea of where the blood come from, But you don't hear me calling him Kobe line because he don't follow Kobe line. He looks nothing like Kobe at all. You know what I mean? So he doesn't follow Kobe line. So in that point, it would be my creation because he actually follows my female line that I created. You know what I'm saying? So he would actually follow my line. So that's why I made Legend line. You know what I'm saying? Because now he makes his own line. And when I go and see his puppies that people are dropping, his puppies are looking like him. You see what I'm saying? So now I can really promote Legend onto the public because now I've created a dog that doesn't look like where he came from, but he's able to produce him. You see what I'm saying? So now it's his line, it's him. You know what I'm talking about? Instead of, me saying Kobe line, Kobe Productions, or Kobe Grandkids, or Kobe this or whatever, and that's how people got to think when they're buying these dogs and promoting these dogs is what are you buying? Are you buying a Legend lookalike? You know what I'm saying? Or are you buying something that you could make your own and take off and promote it and put it out there so people can jump on it as of what you want your brand to stand for. You know what I'm saying? So most of us would go back to saying the best way to do all that is just create your own stud. But you got to know when you've actually created a stud and not just a male dog. You see what I'm saying? You know, some people we just create male dogs and we push it on you as it's our stud. But like I said, it goes back to you knowing like I still need another breeding. I still need to take this stud and go maybe buy a female off of this other stud that I really like. You know, buy a female off of that stud that looks like that stud. And that's another subject too. You know that people fail to realize is that just because a dog, and I'm gonna use a name or two, you know, but just because a dog come off a crown, if it looks nothing like the crown dog's the reason why we breeding the crown, then you know I don't want to deal with it. I don't want it. I don't want it because it can send. And some people are right, man. Well, I can get something off that. Well, yeah, you can, but it can also send you in a direction that's taking you way away from it because it don't even look like it itself. Look at the physical traits of the dog. If you want a crown, go find a crown daughter that looks totally like crown and breed to that. That's your best opportunities of getting something close to that. You know what I'm saying? You can't just take a dog because somebody say it's off a crown and the motherfucker look like a standard pit bull and you thinking you're going to come back and get a crown. You know what I'm saying? Only way you're going to do that if you go breed that to a crown son that look just like crown. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's a lot of free game right there, but I'm just saying, you know, people got to understand, you know, what they're doing, what they're buying, and what they're trying to sell too at the same time.
People don't understand that what you just said was a lot of free game for us. You know, like people don't get like you got to look at the blood, yes, but you also got to look at the dog that's in front of you and also what that dog is producing and what kind of traits is that dog throwing. Because you can have two, three, four males out the same litter. Off
Right,
of we just gonna say crown. We just gonna say crown. You can have four males off the same litter off crown.
right,
Only one of those males out that litter is throwing himself on other
right,
litters, and he looks like crown. The
right,
other three might look like crown, but they not throwing their looks on these other litters. But they
right,
all came from the same litter, and everybody, all four of these people that own these four dogs is saying this a crown son, and they promoting it that way, and people breeding to the dogs.
right,
But
right.
only one son is consecutively throwing that look.
And that would be the stud that would that would really get the ranking or the tag as a producer. You know, just because you having puppies off of a dog, whether it's a male or a female, you know, it don't mean that they producing nothing. You know, they just making. You just making dogs at that point. So if you want to produce dogs, that means you. Man, I get people that come over here and see my yard, man, and the one thing they say about my yard is, man, your dogs all look the same. They all look the same. And yeah, I've added a couple of key factors here lately, and they don't look like my yard. And you could tell those are the ones I bought because they don't look like my yard. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at the ones that all look the same, you'd be like, damn, all his dogs look the same. They're like pretty much the same color, same structure, same faces, same thing, full tails, run at athletic, all that. And I tell everybody all my dogs look the same, and I mean because I started out with one bitch, you know what I'm saying, one female, and I bred that one female to multiple male studs, and then I kept certain dogs from each of that, which set me up to be line breeding across the board, no matter who I breed. You see what I'm saying? So once I started doing that, now all my puppies are coming out the same. Boom, boom, boom. So what I'm keeping is what I know that's going to keep my yard looking the same. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I do have dogs that have straight legs, that born straight legs, but I don't keep straight leg dogs. I keep bowed up leg dogs. So like I said, I come from the country, and they bred horses and different things like that. So if you want a quarter horse, there's certain horses that you got to breed to continue the quarter horse look. You see what I'm saying, or whatever it is. So it's the same thing with me with the dog. So if I got a certain look that I want to be represented by, I'm only gonna pick those type of dogs out of my litters. You feel me? And then the rest, everything else will sell. It don't even matter what the color is. It can come out lilac, merle, tribe, whatever everybody looking for. If the structure not the structure and the look is not what represent what I want my yard is, it gotta go. You know what I'm saying? And not I don't mean that in a bad way. It just it's just mean that that's something that I don't want to introduce to my yard and take it a different way. And now I don't have the consistency that I spent all these years trying to get to. You know, it don't matter what dog I breed to. If I take my foundation bitch, which I still have her, Ferrari, if I take her, which she was created by me and a partner named Brock Phillips with Allied Bullyz, he had the female, I had the male, and we put them together. But anyways, Ferrari ended up being my foundation bitch after that. And it don't matter who I take Ferrari to, I'm knowing that I'm gonna drop pups that look like my pups over here. She's bred so tightly that I'm knowing that she's gonna drop. It doesn't matter. I already done it. You know, I done bred her the same female to Kobe, the same female to Burrito, and I didn't drop dogs that look exactly alike, and they got two different daddies. You see what I'm saying? So I just know my consistency when I drop my pups. I know what my consistency is, and I've bred it so tight throughout the years that even if you breed to me, you're gonna get my look. You feel me? You're gonna get my look if you breed to me.
Yeah, but see, that's what a lot of breeders should be aspiring to get to. That's
Right.
like if I'm somebody and I'm a breeder and I'm looking at what I got in my yard, and you know, you might have something in your program that I'm looking at like, damn, I need that. I need
Right.
that feature he got. So when I come over there to you and I breed to you, I'm gonna get that feature because this is what your dogs is consistently throwing. You
Consistency.
have a true line over there.
Right. Right. And like I said, you know, every line don't have everything. You know, I can't really. I'm trying to think of one. There's not a line out there, in my opinion, that has everything. You know, the full package dog. We're all missing something. You know what I'm
It's like
saying?
it's like that though. From XLs up to XLs down to exotics, it's like that
Right.
though. Like ain't no one dog that's just got it all. Like
Right.
like
Right.
you gon'
Yeah.
you gonna go have a dog that might got nice fronts, but he might got somewhat of a weak rear, or like
Right. 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 Well, like for me, for me, from my program though, like for me, I think my biggest challenge going forward for 2025 was I wanted to like reshape the dynamics of my facial structure. You know what I'm saying? I wanted more of a because right now I got more of a cleaner look face. You know, more of a pit bull look face. So I wanted more of a smashed in, rounder head, chinky eye look, but not too overdone, but just that right fit. And I don't think I'm far from it. I got a couple of bitches over here now that got that look, and so I don't think I'm far from it. But when I break my program down, that's like the only thing I feel like I'm missing is that last little spot right there. I got color over here. I feel like structure. There's nobody out here fucking with me in structure, from big breeders to little breeders. They're not fucking with me in structure. Now, when I mean that, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying you might bring your dog next to mine, and your dog may be super more popular, but my structure gonna be the same structure as yours. It's just yours may have a cooler color and a cooler face. You see what I'm saying? And that's the only thing. Everything about my dog from the neck back is look just like your dog. You know what I'm saying? So, or in most cases, sometimes mine even looks better. Being how I feed and do other things with my dogs to enhance the muscle genes inside of them. But and we can get to that too. But like I said, man, I feel like everybody's program has something that you could use. So, if you're looking for a certain face, you might want to go to a certain program to get a face. Once you got that face and you capitalize on it, that means that you need to breed to a stud twice. For the people that understand what I just said, you need to breed to a stud twice to lock it in. Once you locked it in, then you can really much breed that dog to anything and keep that face coming. You know what I'm saying? Now you go to, now I need some fronts. So who got the best fronts out there that I like? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go out here and breed to Legend. His fronts are incredible. I'm going to breed to Legend to try to get that real bow front, not just that elbow stick down knots. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we got some real curvish fronts going on over here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like saying if I really want a bowed up front, then I'm going to go holler at Legend and get the bowed up front because I already know I got the face locked in. So many new breeders get discouraged because they're like, oh, I don't want to breed to him because he not as smashed. Well, if your bitch is smashed, and she's consistently come from a smashed line, then she's going to correct that in your litter. You're not going to get a legend at that point. You're going to follow your program. You're going to follow your bitch. You feel me? Legend just might enhance it to now throw bows on your program. So you got to understand why you need to use certain dogs. You know, you might be consistently throwing dogs with no tails, and you're like, man, I want to get a tail. You know, so and I want to get some fronts. So you're like, man, I want Breed the legend, man. He throwing full suit tails, I mean full tails and bows on everything. So you knowing you're gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta make sure your female is bred tight so you can drop your color you want to drop and you can drop the facial structure that you want to drop. He gonna give you everything else. You know, he ain't gonna miss. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a true line breeder, you'll study who he off of. And then go back and bring the best of that to him and you're gonna get the face, the body, and everything. You feel me?
Right. I'm gonna double back on what you just was saying for the nutrition aspect. Like, I saw like a few posts, on your old Instagram that you had mentioned that had got took down, but kind of, explain, as far as like what you doing over there with the nutrition. I see you doing like different things, man, that probably the average exotic breeders ain't really doing, far as like nutrition with the dogs.
Right. So like this all this all started back. Um, this all started back when my aunt was I'm sorry about that. Was doing uh, poodles. She was breeding her poodles and putting her poodles together and stuff. So she had a poodle that passed away, and then she got another poodle that passed away, ended up passing away. And we're talking about years, it took years for them to pass away, but they ended up passing away. And every time she would have these poodles, she would take them to her vet and figure out like what happened, because she takes real good care of these dogs, right? And so it would always come back like cancer or something like that in these poodles, or a tumor or something like that. And it's like, where is it? Where is it coming from? So originally they said that it was coming from like the food that we feed the dogs. You know what I'm saying? So that's what jawed our brain cells to think like, what else do you feed the dog? What else can we feed the dog? Because at that point we're talking like in the early 2000s, people just ran to Walmart and got dog food. Whatever the cheapest dog food was, you just grabbing in the feed. Gravy Train,
Right,
old Roy,
right.
you just grabbing some stuff to feed the
Right.
dog, man, because it's dog food. But we started really kind of learning that all dog food wasn't really good for the dog. You know what I'm saying? It was just something for the dog to eat, and not be starving. So she actually started making her own dog food at home out of natural ingredients like chicken, rice, different things like that. Chicken and rice meals with carrots and kale or whatever she's putting in it, broccoli. And we would go actually read the labels to see what the ingredients was. But we would go and buy the ingredients fresh and put it together as a fresh meaty meal instead of, dry dog food, compressed, whatever. We we made it actually a fresh meal, and she would store these in Tupperware containers in her refrigerator, and so the dog would actually eat a fresh meal, prepared like throughout the week. And that's where I got it from my basically my own family, and she started doing that, and I saw like the health of her dogs like improving. They would live longer. They would be more energetic. They would, shit less. It's just stuff like that we started noticing. And the vet visits were always good, getting better and better, you know what I'm saying? So when I got into the bully world, then we're gonna fast forward to the bully game now. So when I got into the bully game and I started doing that too, I started feeding my dogs, I'm getting whatever bully people are telling me. Oh, I feed Victor. I ain't never heard Victor in my life until I got in the bully community. Oh, I feed Victor. I'm running and grabbing Victor. Oh, I feed Diamond. Oh, I feed, whatever. So, I done went through all kind of dog foods just trying to find something that I like for the dog and stuff. But it always was in the back of my head like, man, you know what to do. Like, I don't know why you're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? You know what to do. So it's like one day I just said, you know what? I just want to start making my own food again. And then I just then what happened was, instead of me just going off of what I knew, like with the chickens and all that, we used to feed like Cornish hens and whole leg quarters and all that stuff like that, throw it in the bowl, throw an egg down, maybe sprinkle some kind of powder on it, and boom, there you go. But um, uh, I went from that to actually doing I ain't gonna say a detailed study, but just a little bit of personal study for myself on just the natural ability of a dog to feed itself, which comes back to wolves. You know what I'm saying? Out in the wild. So I started with that idea and just kind of read some stuff on that, on them feeding theirself, which goes back to wolves travel in packs. So the alpha wolf, um, uh, he don't do any of the killing. I always thought he did. But who does the killing is the pack. They go chase it down, kill it, whatever. And then the alpha comes. The alpha does the fighting. He does the protecting. He fights off the people that's trying to kill his pack. So he's the protector. So he don't kill for food. You feel me? He kill for protection. And so the alpha got to stay the most healthiest, because he got to stay ready for war. So when the kill is killed, it's time to eat. The alpha is going to go eat first. They're going to back off and let him eat first. So he's going to come and eat first. And the stuff that he's going to go for is all organs. He's going for all organs, like, the heart, the liver, lungs, tongue, kidneys. He's going for the organs, and the reason why is because the organs gives him the most benefit to his body to keep him nutritioned enough to be ready for war. You know what I'm saying? He gets the most nutrition. Now the rest of the pack, they get all the leftover stuff. Just the fatty meats and all that kind of stuff. The thighs and legs, they get all that. They chew on the bones and all that stuff. But he's gonna go for the organs because it's gonna fill. It's not gonna necessarily fill him up like where he's not hungry, but it's gonna give him the most nutrition. So I took that idea and went and found where I can buy organs. Beef organs. I stick with beef. I obviously know there's other animals out there like chicken or whatever, but I stick with beef personally because I feel like that's the best to me. So I stick with beef and I go grab beef organs, whether it's the liver, the heart, the kidneys, the tongue, it's all beef organs. And I chop those up to, I chop those down to put them in a feeding, every day. And I also mixed in fruits and vegetables and a few different things in there to add protein add vitamins and stuff like that. But mainly those organs and then fruits and vegetables I put in there, which gives my dog a full, like, healthy diet every day. We also know, like, feeding that rich of protein to our bullies and the size that they are, it's better on an XL, but when you start to get to the nanos, feeding that much protein can be harmful for the dog too. So this is also something that you got to understand how much to give. You just can't just willy-nilly say, oh, I got a heart, here, eat the whole heart. And then here tomorrow, eat another heart. Here tomorrow, eat another heart. I mean, you're giving the dog way too much protein that's going to internally, over a period of time, mess the dog up. So you got to break it down. That's why I say I cut it down and I break it down into servings to where I can give the dog heart every single day if I so choose to. You know what I'm saying? Because the serving amount only gives them a little bit of protein per day, and not giving them a whole heart, which is enough protein for the whole month. You know what I'm saying? For their body, or the whole 2 weeks it may be. You know what I'm saying? So I did take a lot of time to try to figure this out, and it's not something I'm just throwing out there that I haven't tested myself. I've been feeding my dogs like this for probably the last 5-6 years, just like this, and I've done it to where I started feeding them kibbles and through the mush, and then I graduate them to this, and I seen the change, and then I done it to where I started with this only, with 0 kibbles. Legend is a prime example. If you do like the way Legend looks, his structure, his muscle style, his muscle tone, especially if you see him in person, his physique. Legend is a prime example. Like, he never ate kibbles his first year of life. Never, not one time ate any kibble, any dog kibbles. I'm talking about since he got off the nipple, he went straight to my mush, which it was all beef products and fruits and vegetables. I just grinded it down in a blender to where they can eat it when they're little and just gradually made it into chunks as he got older, you know, but it was the same meal. And man, the dog turned out like crazy phenomenal. Like skin and coat is like crazy phenomenal. Shout out to my partner Daquan Jackson, but he came out here a couple of times, and that's one of the things he prided me on is like, bro, I've never seen your dog with like fucked up skin. Like your coats are like immaculate. And I'm like, bro, my dog eats blood. I mean, the blood from this meat is still there. I drain it and I give it to him so that that vitamins in that blood is enriching that coat. You know what I'm saying? Not just that. I put eggs in there. I put, yogurt in there. You know, some of this stuff right here, it enriches the coat. Not only bathing the dog consistently with a good quality shampoo and conditioner. You know, some people just have a shampoo. You know, I got like 3-4 steps I go through when I'm grooming my own dogs. You know what I'm saying? So, um, uh, but yeah, man, I kind of went long on that one, but yeah, man, but yeah, I really dove into the nutrition pretty heavily for what I wanted to, for what I needed it for, and I kind of stuck with it, man. I just got a brand new puppy not too long ago, and I got her, a female, and I got her started on it just about 2 days ago. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, she tearing the bowl up. Like, you know, and when they start this up and they eating this food, man, I literally can feed them, and you'll hear the bowl clanking because they're just licking the bowl. You know, just licking it. You know, I mean, the bowls be crystal clean when they're done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How many other people you done ran into exotic breeders that kind of feed raw diets to their dogs?
Man, you know, I come from the old school era a little bit, so I know a lot of people that feed raw meat or feed raw diets, but they're getting the raw that I call a fatty raw. You know, they got like a puppy raw, fatty raw, you know, different kind of raws, but most of them are getting with this fatty raw, and to me, that's just a lot of stuff that they didn't want, and so they threw it together and ground it together, which it got bones in it. It got all kind of stuff in it. And bones are good for the dog. I'm not saying they're not. Yeah, they come in those
Like the rolls,
sausage
like the
rolls.
yeah,
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 and
yeah.
it's just a bunch of stuff, and you really don't know what it is. And that's the reason why I did use that, but that's the reason why I stopped using that because now I can control exactly what I'm getting because I'm going and buying each ingredient. I don't know what they all put in there. You know what I'm saying? They can tell you, but hey, I know now. I know exactly what's in there because I buy each single ingredient and I cut it up or grind it up myself and put it in there. So I do know a lot of breeders that do feed raw, but I don't know a lot of breeders that feed raw my way. Have you heard of a breeder named Gustavo Garza with Uptown Bullies?
Nah, I'm not familiar. I'm familiar with quite a few exotic bully breeders. I'm just now starting to get familiar since I've been doing the media thing. I'm
Okay.
tapping in, but I ain't familiar across the board with
Well,
a whole
the reason
lot
why I
of.
brought his name up, good friend of mine, we done some good stuff together. Uh, but he's one of the bigger breeders, you know, than myself that I feel that I would, respect, as being a bigger name than me, that I would say. And I respect his opinion and how he breathes and everything. And it was so amazing for me because, like I said, I've been doing this food thing for myself. And I would do it for a few of my other friends, but when it came to him, and he came to, and we started talking, and he asked me about, my feeding, and I told him, and we went over a couple of things, and he started implementing it the way that I do it, and I mean, he came back with phenomenal results, man. He was like, man, like this shit is crazy. I mean, it was so amazing to him that we started working together as far as me feeding his dogs for him. Like I bring them to my house and feed them, for a while and then send them back to him. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that because the, I mean, it's just, I mean, and I'll tell you, man, I'll tell everybody, it's something that you got to be ready. Your pockets got to be ready for. It's not cheap at all. If I was trying to be cheap, I would go do something different. I go get fatty raw. This is not cheap at all. I mean, I'm spending more money on making this stuff than you're going to spend on the most expensive bag of dog food out there to feed your dog. Like, well, I mean, what's that, Origin? You go buy some Origin or something like that, they're running like $110 a bag, $120 a bag in some cases. So, and that probably gonna last you feeding one dog, say 2 weeks, right? And then you back buying another bag. But shit, you go buy $100 of what I'm doing, you got about 2-3 days. You feel me? So
Right,
that's what
right,
I'm
right,
saying. It's
right.
like I go buy meats, and I'm at the butcher shop, and I'm spending like 500 on just the meats. You feel me? Then I'm spending, whatever it is at Kroger's or Albertsons on just the fruits and vegetables, for that. And I got to buy my fruits and vegetables in smaller quantities because I need them to stay fresh. Instead of buying a big quantity and then I only use half of it and I got to throw the rest of it away because it go bad. So that's why I go to the grocery store and just buy what I need for a week. So every week I'm spending anywhere $50 to $60 a week. So you add that up, that's about another $200 to $250 a month on added to the $500 that I'm spending about every month. You see what I'm saying? So it's easy. I'm spending $700-800 a month just buying these ingredients, not even counting the time that it takes me to do it every day. It takes me an hour to feed the dogs to prep everything, and that's just to put the food together. It takes me an hour to get that together and then give it to the dogs, whatever. So I love the way I feed, but I will tell anybody it is not for everybody. But I love it. The dogs love it. The people that do support me on it, they love it, and they're using it to a certain extent to what they want to spend. And I would tell people that do want to reach out to me on a food plan, because I do have people that reach out to me, and I give them a food plan for their dog, but I give them a light plan to where they can adjust it and they can take out this and take out that and substitute it for something else that may be budget friendly for them. Or I'll tell them, stick to exactly what I'm telling you to, but do it every other day, every 3 days. That way we can spread out the amounts that you buy so you don't have to go buy it all the time like I do. Just spread it out, and I'll tell you what to give the dog in between time, which is regular kibbles, before you hit this mix, and just give it to them every other day instead of every day. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see that it still works perfectly fine skipping days. I didn't done it. And then the reason why I say it, because I everything I tell you, I've done it on my own dogs. I'll skip a day of feeding just to see, do my dog lose weight? Do they lose definition? Do they get skinny because they haven't ate? Man, my dog's weight don't change. I mean, if I go 3-4 days or something like that, maybe, but I've never went that long. But I'll skip a day and my dog still looks like he ate that day. You
For
know what I'm
sure, for
saying?
sure. Yeah, for sure. Like me, like today is Sunday. I fast my
Right,
dogs on Sundays. I don't even feed on Sundays. I let them fast, and they,
right,
the next day they ain't looking like they been starving and that. And they look the same.
right. That's the goal, man. That's the goal that I try to go with and stick with too, is making sure that they getting the right nutrition and protein for what I know. Somebody might listen to this and watch this and say, hey, I got a different opinion. And that's cool. Get at me. I want to know it. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what your angles is. And that's what people find out about me is I learn as I go. So you might know something that I don't know, or you might hear or see something that I do say or do, and you might got a better way that I could do it. I'm willing to listen to you. You know what I'm saying? What I'm not willing to do is sit here and just listen to criticism about what I'm doing, and then you not doing nothing to redirect it to try to help me or whatever. You just enjoy talking shit about what I'm doing because you think it's not you think it's not right because it's not what you're doing. That's what I don't like, and that's what I see a lot of people doing. Man, just if you see something, you hear something, and you feel like you got a different opinion, maybe you got different knowledge, maybe you got better knowledge of what I'm saying, then just reach out to me and let me know, and we can discuss it. And maybe I can add something to you, what you're doing, as well as you can add something to what I'm doing.
Right, right, right. Yeah, it ain't nothing wrong with, accepting constructive criticism. Like if somebody disagree with something, or not even disagree, but they like what you got going on, but they feel like they can improve it or better it, then yeah, bring it to the table and say, what it is that I can do better. You feel me? Instead
Right.
of just saying,
Right.
nah, what you doing ain't nothing. That what you got going on ain't nothing.
Right. Right. I mean, example with that is I had a breeder reach out to me, and this was years ago, and he the one that put the light on me about feeding the heart every single day because I used to feed heart every single day, and he the one that put the light on me about the level of protein that the dog is intaking on the size of the dog is probably too much, and it's probably like going to hurt the dog in the long run, and so I had to go back and look at what he was saying, and it turned out that he was absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? And then I started implementing that into feeding less hard per day, so they're not getting so much that's going to hurt them. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. Example, like if you have something, that I'm doing, or even somebody else is doing it, something about what they're doing could be better. Reach out and let that person know, like, hey, and if you know something, reach out to somebody else and let them know too. That's how we're going to better this game. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to better this game by just looking at the next breeder and saying, ha, 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 I'm better than you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we did that when we was teenagers. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we should be adults about this and about what we're doing. So, if you truly want to help the game and help the people, reach out to somebody that you see that may not be doing something correctly. You know, if you care, you know what I'm saying?
For people out there, that may be on the outside looking in, you got other people in other dog communities. They on the outside looking in. They not exotic bully breeders. They not really tapped into the exotic bully community, but they might see things, on different media outlets, or somebody else from somewhere might come and tell them something, and they view the exotic bully in the community in a negative way. What can you say to those people, to maybe help them see the breed in a more positive manner, than what they see in it?
And the biggest thing, people that's fine, these dogs to be train wrecks, or or bad dogs to have, or whatever it is, or can't walk, can't breathe. I always just tell them people, like, go see the dog in person. You know what I'm saying? And make that decision based on what you see. Stop making these decisions based on just a picture or a video. I done seen it where people take bad angles of people's dogs and make that dog look horrible at that time. But then I go see the dog in person. I said, damn, the dog is walking and moving like quite fine. You know what I'm saying? You know. So I also always tell people, man, just go see the dog in person, man, and stop just joining the bandwagon of people just trying to tear a dog down. Go see that dog in person. If you see it in person and you say, it's not my cup of tea, then you got your answer. But so many of us, we just always see a picture or video and, that dog fucked up, that dog's this, that dog's that. And so when we're doing that, what we're doing is, for the people that don't know what they're looking for, they're just hearing us saying, that's fucked up, that's fucked up, that's fucked up, that's bad, that's terrible, and then what are you thinking? Like, man, them dogs are bad, them dogs are terrible, them dogs can't breathe, them dogs can't walk. So if you don't have an exotic, you're on the outside looking in, you're like, I don't want no exotic. All I hear is negative shit about it. You see what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right,
So
right,
instead of us
right.
being so negative about another person's dog just to make ours look better, just go see that dog, if you feel like, that you need to see it. If you don't, then, like a lot of us OGs do, we just don't say nothing, we just like, hey, I ain't got nothing good or bad to say, that's not my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You think, too, like, far as, like, with anything else, stereotypes get built up, and
Right.
it might not necessarily mean that the whole breed is this way. You feel me?
Right.
Like,
That's
it
that's what
might
I'm
be
saying.
only,
Go see that dog, because
yeah, it
you
might be,
might had a bad experience with an exotic, but that don't mean all exotics walk on their elbows, or all exotics got high rears, or all exotics can't breathe. That's what I'm saying. Go see these dogs. Go to a dog show. If you're a person you never been to a dog show, go to a dog show. Yeah, you're gonna see the ones that you say are fucked up, but then you're gonna see the ones you're gonna say, well, this one is pretty nice. This one is pretty cool. Well, those are the ones that should be at the dog show anyway. But like I say, we have an open market here. You buy a ticket, you buy a booth, you bring whatever the hell you want to. If we was in UKC or something, you buy a ticket, you get you a booth, you got a standard of dog that you can only bring. You know what I'm saying? You ain't bringing what you want to. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we gotta have more control when it comes from the showing to to how we accepting people. We gotta have more control if we want this game to be accepted among the masses. Because everybody, I mean, because people always gonna come back and say that these dogs are train wrecks or they're horrible or they're this and that until they only start seeing the good ones. If they're seeing bad ones, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to be that thought on there. And, you know, and the people on your social media that's just getting on there bashing your dog. And you know, I mean, for me, when I used to have my boy Jeezy, you know, rest in peace, Jeezy, you know, I used to get messages all the time on Facebook, you know, about how he couldn't walk and how he couldn't do this and how he couldn't do that. And I'm like, I just showed a whole video of him running across the backyard chasing a ball, and you just talking about he can't walk, but he just ran across the backyard like your dog would. Maybe not as fast because he's so short to the ground. Maybe not as long, but he still ran across the backyard. But your comments is he can't walk because he got a bowed up front features. You feel me? And so that's what I'm saying. Go see these dogs. Some of these people that's really breeding for the better of the breed have the quality of the dog that it still keeps the functionality, like myself. You see what I'm saying? I will have those freaky features that you will automatically assume that dog can't walk right. Yeah, until he start walking. Oh, that dog can't jump. Yeah, until he started jumping and biting on a towel or ball or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, so now what you got to say? You see what I'm saying? Like, go see these dogs. And that's what I would tell people, man. Just go to shows, go see the dog before you lock in that dog is this or that dog is that. You know what I'm saying?
In your opinion, what direction do you see the exotic bully game going to?
Man, right now, you know what I'm saying, 2024, the game is, to me, in my opinion, is kind of at a standstill. You know, it's like we're waiting on the next big thing to kind of generate a new wave of excitement. You know what I'm saying? Because we had the wave of Kobe and Crown. You know, uh, those were two of the biggest ones from the near future. And they're trying to add in other ones like Focus, you know, and different dogs like that, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But uh, I feel like the excitement is just kind of, you know what I'm talking about? It's like it's just at a standstill right now. So the game, I feel like it can either go worse or it can get better depending on if we get that excitement from a new contender. You know what I'm saying? A new contender brings in that excitement, like drops in a new dog or something that's, you know, that has a huge platform, a huge run, a huge wave. And once that come back in, I feel like that's going to generate um, a whole new area for revenue and stream and promotion for people to have that excitement to keep the game going. Like when Kobe came out, or when Crown came out, or you know, uh, I mean, I can even say when Legend came out, but Legend just starting his his run. Really, he kind of really just starting to set into a run. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to add him in there just yet, but you know, Burrito, you know what I'm saying? All them types of dogs, you know, in this near future, you know, um, they're on their runs, but at the same time, they've been on a run for say the last year that the run is like starting to level out and just being a standstill. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're waiting on is for another creation to go boom and bring it back up. You know what I'm saying? And there's a few people out there that got some stuff that could do it, you know, and it's just they haven't brought it out yet, or they're working on it, or they're waiting till the right timing to put it out there. But I mean, as far as the exotic game and where it's going, you know, I feel like it's at a standstill. So I feel like it can go either way. You know, you get a lot of people nowadays that's backing out of the dog game because of finances. You know, So if you get too many of that keep happening, that can turn the dog game backwards because now you ain't got the capital inside of the market to withstand why everybody making $20,000 sales or $50,000 sales or whatever, or spending $5K on a stud fee. You know, when the market is down, you know what I'm saying? So if the market continue to stay down for a long period of time, I think that'll hurt the game and send it backwards. You know what I mean? Because now you got dogs of high quality being sold for like $5,000 or whatever it is when a year ago them same dogs were like 20,000, 30,000, and now they're asking 5,000. So when you look at it that way, that means the game is actually going backwards. You know what I'm saying? But I think we still have a chance to still go forward. We just looking for something else to attach another contender out there that's going to boost that excitement back up, which is going to generate more money.
Right, you're right. Anything that's out here being sold as it gets older and as it been around for more and more years and years and years, it should start to climb in value. That's
Right,
like a car, a Escalade, for instance. When it first came out, it was a certain price. You
right,
buy Escalade today, it's not gonna be that price it was when it first came out. So that's
right,
the same thing with the exotic bully. The prices, or any bully for that matter, the price of these dogs should be going up as the years go by. The price should not be dropping and going down. That's a problem if it
right.
is.
Or the reason why the price drops is not because of the dog. The reason why the price drops is going to be because of the finances of the person who owns the dog. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why they drop in value of the price. People don't want to talk about it, but the people that's generating the real revenue of what they're saying they making, they're not dropping their price because it's coming. Why would you say I'll take less when I know I'm gonna get this all the time and I've been getting it? I mean, shout out to the homie Manny Zamora with Bull Sachi and George. Man, you don't never hear them dropping their prices. You know what I'm saying? Because they knowing the quality of what they built. You know what I'm saying? You just don't hear that, And you'll hear other breeders dropping their prices and stuff and playing with the prices. And it's more or less so you're playing with the prices because you have a financial situation going on. You know what I'm saying? People with no financial situation going on, they don't care whether you breed to the dog or not. You
Right,
know?
right. Like what you just said, like you be having people posting up when they first have a litter, puppies 5K. Before you know it, they saying they got some puppies left for 2K.
Right, right. Yeah. And I've been there, I've been there and done that, you know what I'm saying? I've been in that situation too. So, I can't, hate, but I can be honest. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not hating on nobody that's in that, but I'm just being honest about that's the reason why you in that. Let's be honest. I've been there too. I've been there and done that. I'm not rich. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
shit,
Yeah, for
I've been there
sure.
and done that too.
For
Yeah.
sure, for sure. Uh, with everything that's going on and the community for us dogs and the shenanigans and all of the other stuff that be going on, this stuff go on not just exotics, XLs, pockets,
Yeah.
any breed. This stuff go on with Rottweilers. You feel me? But
Right, right.
have you ever felt like throwing in the towel and just saying like, man, I'm done breeding these dogs, man. I'm done.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm gonna say all the time. All the time I feel like this could be my last, you know what I'm saying? And it's not because of the dog, man. It's really like what you were getting into. It's more or less the community. You know what I'm saying? The community. If you speak, I hear June talk about it a lot, and sometimes I overlook what he's saying until it start happening to me. You feel me? And if you let this community like become your life, then you're gonna want to throw the towel in all the time. You gotta have a life balance between what you're doing with the dogs and real life. What you really doing and need to accomplish in real life. Because you'll get so wrapped up in these dogs, man, and shit don't happen when you need it to or when you want it to, and you be wanting to throw that towel in, man, and it's so frustrating, to the average breeder. You know what I'm saying? And I've been there. I still consider myself an average breeder, but I've been there. When I was first coming in, man, and it's so easy to want to say, man, I'm done. I just don't want to do it no more. I want to do something else. But I still keep going though. I still keep pushing. I still find a reason to get up at 6 a.m. every single morning, no matter if I'm weekend or not, Sunday or not, and run through my dog chores. You know what I'm saying? I still find it in me to get in here and cut this meat up and feed these dogs when everybody want to go to the lake or want to go to the water park or want to go do this. And I say, well, I got to run by the house for about an hour and a half and feed these dogs, and I'll be in here really chefing it up, cutting it up. So, it takes a lot of heart and dedication. And every time I sit back and I think about how much heart and dedication I really have behind my program, you know, that's what keep me going. You know what I'm saying? And then I got a lot of support out there too. Shout out to my partner Daquan Jackson. He calls me all the time. We chop it up. He helps me keep focused. Donald Murphy, another partner of mine that calls me all the time. We talk like every day. And all these people, that I'm talking about, Brock Phillips, they know personal stuff about me that has nothing to do with dogs. You know what I'm saying? So you need people like that. We can talk about dogs and we can talk about life. And I'm knowing that what I'm talking about, nobody knows. You're not out here speaking my life out here in this dog world. You need true breeders like that. Mine just happen to be big breeders. You know what I'm saying? And and that's what keeps me going. You know what I'm saying? And but other than that, bro, I mean, if person want to talk about throwing in the towel because they can't make a superstar or they never made a top notch superstar, I mean, to each your own on that. A superstar is only what you see it to be. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like your own personal motivation, bro. If you lose motivation in what you're doing, you're gonna want to throw in the towel. You got to stay motivated. You got to have people around you that keep you motivated. Opportunities like what you giving me, for motivation, promotional use, and stuff like that. But all that kind of stuff keeps you going, bro. You know what I'm saying? Supporting other people actually keeps you going, because once you supporting them and you start to see support coming back, that'll keep you going. So if anybody out here that's ready to throw the towel in, make sure you're throwing the towel in for real reasons. Maybe it's a family issue with the dogs, or a financial issue. You know what I'm saying, or something like that. But never throw the towel in because it's just not working out for you yet. Prime example, I didn't have it working out me at the beginning. I've been doing this for better 15 years, and I probably just started getting it worked out for me in the last 2 or 3. You feel me? So the first part of 12 years, it was nothing. So just keep going. That's all I tell people. Just keep going through the mud, through the storm, through the rain. We all take L's, man. We all take L's. Some take bigger L's than others, and some don't take as many L's as others. But we've all taken the L's, from your biggest breeder to whoever. We've all taken the L's. We've all taken major, major L's. So don't get discouraged if you're taking L's. Just try to figure out how you turn them L's, them losses into lessons, and then turn them into wins. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question. You had just mentioned your partner, Daquan Jackson. I had saw a post you had made before. It had a picture of him on it. He was smiling. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it said something to the extent like, if your kennel partner ain't smiling like this, then you doing something wrong, or something like that. It had said.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
what for people out there, man? Because I be seeing like a lot of people that get together, then they be falling out. Kennel partners, people be oh, he scammed me out of 95,000. Like, I just saw some crazy stuff like that.
Right.
How do it seemed like you and Daquan Jackson got a good relationship going on, man. For people out there, give them a little insight on, what it take to have a quality, kennel partner like you and Daquan Jackson, y'all situation and y'all relationship and the dynamic y'all got going on.
Right. 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 Well, to refer to that picture you was talking about, I wasn't even at the show. I just seen the picture posted. So I took the picture and posted it because I see him on the picture, right? And I'm then seeing him laugh like this at jokes and stuff, like way we talking and stuff. So I know when I see him laughing like that, his real level of excitement. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and all my posts are raw. Like I just think of what I'm gonna say right then. Usually I listen to the music that I want to post, and then I come up with something from the music and the picture together for what I put in my post or whatever, body of art or whatever. But when I posted that and I said that, if your kennel partner ain't smiling like this, then y'all not doing something right, because ultimately, man, you want to be happy in this. You don't want to have everybody with a frown and mad and in here just trying to look and point out the negatives all the time, and all that. If you and your kennel partner can be laughing and having a good time when you go to these shows and be around each other, that's what I meant by that. You know what I'm saying? Like my kennel partner having a good time, man, and I'm acknowledging that. I'm acknowledging to y'all that look at my kennel partner having a good time. If your kennel partner not out here having a good time with or without you, then y'all doing something wrong, because y'all should be having a good time, bro. Making dogs should be fun. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I was going with that. And then to elaborate on Daquan, man, like I met Daquan just like everybody else did. Bully Avenue Live, shirt off, had the Detroit banner in the back, doing lives, Facebook lives, and back in those days, it was like him and June and Gator. They was the ones that's doing the lives like every night, you know what I'm saying? And so I would get on each one of them here and there. But there was something about being on the Quan live where he really kind of like captivated you while he was speaking, and you kind of like tuned in. Like it was like a talk show type of thing. You're like, damn, you'd be listening to what he's talking about and shit. So just throughout the years, I just always tuned in to what he was doing. And I noticed that he started noticing me. You know what I'm saying? Like he would see me on the live and he'd say, shout out to Brandon Morgan, shout out. And I was like, this dude don't know me from a hole in the wall. But my consistent support for what he was doing, he saw me just being consistently on his shit. I would make comments here and there, but I would never get on there and talk, like show my face. I would just make comments. And he would always shout me out, and time went through, and I seen a post. It was his daughter's birthday, and I think she was like 3 years old or something at the time. And shit, I went to the store and bought her like 2 pair of Vans, called him, texted him up. I said, bro, what's your address? I'm gonna send your daughter a gift. He was like, for real? And I was like, this is before, he even got, big or whatever. So he was like, for real? And I was like, yeah, bro. So he sent me the address, and I mailed him out his daughter some shoes and shit for her, her birthday. And ever since then, like, it was like a real, like a brotherhood from that point going forward. You know what I'm saying? We would call each other, talk. And he was like, man, I come out to Texas, man. I need to come by and check out your yard. So finally, he did make it out here, and we came by the house. And he had been out here 2-3 times, spent the night at the house, hang out with me and all that stuff. So it's like we had formed a real brotherhood, His wife met mine, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. When we go out to shows in other states, we always link up, and make sure that we, hanging out and doing stuff. And then it just came up to like, say, bro, shit, you over there with Boss Line Kennels, because I was Boss Line Kennels. And he's like, you over there with Boss Line Kennels, and you over there with Bully Avenue. And I was like, shit, what's up? Like, what you want to do? And he's like, man, I got a couple other partners that I'm with, shout out to Dada Mills and Vino. He said, let me make some discussions and see, and then shit, man, they called me up and said, bro, we would love to have you as a part of what we doing, bro. And that's what the Bully Avenue came in. That's where the brotherhood, like, we all brothers, man. We all support each other. We all look out for each other. If somebody down, we making sure that we talking to them to keep them energized, keep them up, keep everything going. So that's the gist of it, man. Like, it's just a brotherhood, like, and that's why we so tight and we so locked in what we doing. We won't even talk about our moves because we already know what our moves is going to be about. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm knowing what his move is going to entitle. He knowing what my move is going to entitle. So by the time I make the move, he already really knowing, like, okay, I knew you was gonna make that move. I knew that
This
that
episode
was
of
a move you
Allied
was thinking
Bullyz
about doing.
TV is being
Now I'm
brought to
just
you by
letting them
K9
know I
Super
made the
Supplements
move. It's
Puppy
like, here, bro,
Formula.
this is what I
This
did,
awesome
and this how
supplement
I did it.
contains
It's like, okay,
green
cool.
tripe,
And then
goat's
it's
milk,
like he's not trying
biotin,
to tear
along
me
with
down
6
on
other
my moves. It's
ingredients
like he's trying
to
to say,
promote
okay,
growth
cool,
and
cool.
development,
Well, this is
support
the move I'm gonna
immunity,
make to go
digestive
with your
health,
move,
bone
or
health, and also
take that
skin
move
and coat
and
health.
move like this to go with my
Head on
move.
over
So
to
we already incorporating moves
K9SuperSupplements.com
for
today
future
and grab
purposes.
yours.
So when we start putting our bloods back together, that it's all line breeding across the board. You know, no matter if I go to Dada come to me, or to Quan, or whatever way we want to twist this circle up, it doesn't matter. We can take a male this way, a female this way, whatever. That's our end design for a camp, you know, for our camp. You know, I can't discuss what everybody's camp is, but, you know, we move a certain way because we know that it's going to help the camp, not just me individual. It's going to help Dada when he needed. It's going to help the Quan when he needed. You know what I'm saying?